Hey, hi, hello, good evening. Welcome to the middle of the week. I hope it's been going well for you so far. As for me, I'm just trying to survive. It's got super hot here all of a sudden for some reason. Like, I think this is the first time this season that I've actually turned on my AC because the room circulation was at least good enough to keep things cool, but I'm feeling it now. I guess this is it's summer, right? It's summer. I mean, I think it crossed over into summer like a few days ago, but we're in it, right? We're in the thick of it now. Good evening to you, Molecular Shadow Fox. Good to see you as always. How are you doing tonight? I hope you're hanging in there as well. Time to break out your cute summer outfits. Heck yeah! Oh yeah. You know, gonna pull out my sundresses, gonna pull out my light cardigans and shawls and all that good stuff. Oh yeah. Summer wardrobe. Yeah, there's certain things I like about it too, right? It can be light, breezy, cool, loose, and if you put them together well, it can be pretty comfy as well, right? Yeah, apart from that, right? Apart from surviving the heat, it's been another pretty average week. I just been going along my day, getting things set up. Oh man, big things happening. A few big things happening, and man, just hoping it all comes together, right? Like, nothing worse than just like having the big day and then like just a catastrophe happens one way or another. I'm hoping that it'll be cool, right? Pretty good, thank you. I've been on nights the last few days. Oh yeah. Good thing, right? At least you're avoiding the worst of the heat. Although, yeah, there's other things associated with nights that you just gotta be mindful of, right? You're on recruitment too for new members of the team. It's that season, eh? You're looking for new employees. Oh. Yeah, it feels like that happens around whenever the financial year rolls around, right? Like whenever that happens for a company, it's like, all right, gotta start bolstering the roster again, because you know, meta financial BS and all that. But yeah, hopefully you find some cool folks, right? But yeah, as we're here talking about endings, Grid 2019, right? We're about at the end of season 3 here. We got just a few more events, a few track days, and then some track day hypercars, and yeah, finish line. It's like really close. It's really close. All we have is our like a bunch of extra long events, and then yeah, weird feeling, right? It's like when you watch a TV series, right? An old TV series, and you know how long it is, and you're about to reach the end, and just like filled with this feeling of melancholy, right? Something that used to be your routine for so long is about to come to an end, right? About to come to an end. You're about to put a bow on it. It's like, that's it, huh? Yeah. Temps and seasonal jobs and all that. Oh yeah, summer. Perfect time for it, right? Got people out on break for one reason or another, or looking for some extra income. Yeah, bring them on. I worked a few summer jobs myself. One of them was with a restaurant. Another of them was with a college prof who was working on a project. Yeah, those were like the 2 seasonal jobs I had. Do you have any seasonal jobs? Do you do like summer jobs or like a holiday job or anything like that? No slackers wanted? Oh yeah, I imagine especially in your line of work, you can't really afford someone who's just gonna laze about, right? Who thinks they could just stand around and get away with that and collect their paycheck still. Yeah, no. When the jobs that are more physically oriented, you kind of need people who will be on the top of their game, right? Because someone who slacks off will set things back. Yeah. All right. On that note, let's not slack off, right? Let's get in here and do some more track day events. We're gonna do some track day specials, extra long events. Here we come. Same. You did summer in the greenhouse packing flowers and plants on trolleys, ready for delivery to supermarkets and stuff. Ah, doing some warehouse work, I see. Gotta be interesting though, right? Being able to see like a bit of the behind the scenes work, right? It's like most of the time when you go to the store, right, all you see is like the stuff on the shelves, and you really don't see like what goes into bringing it there, right? Unless you like see one of those TV shows like How It's Made or something like that. These greenhouses are no joke. Oh, I bet. Oh my god. So the whole glass building, you got sun no matter what. And I imagine they probably don't run AC either because you got a lot of plants in there, so you just gotta put up with the weather, whatever that weather may be. Ooh. Yeah. That'll certainly give you a lesson in resilience, if nothing else. Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm gonna try that again. We're off to a good start. You stick your head into big buckets of water. Oh. Did they supply that to you specifically to cool off, or was the water for like something else, and you also used it as a cooling off point? For the plants, okay. I mean, that makes sense, yeah. You would need a lot of water on hand to water the plants. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do when you're overheating, right? When your well-being is on the line, you gotta just do what you can, right? Can't worry about the consequences later. You know, then hopefully everyone around will understand, right? Because sometimes a human life is just more important than procedure or materials or supplies or things like that, right? Weren't prepared. Walk in and it's like walking into an oven. The warm air just hits you. Oh yeah. I mean, you got like a concentration of like light and heat kind of in an enclosed space. Yeah, it's gonna heat up, right? I mean, I'm sure we've all had the experience where you go back to your car in the summer, right? If it's been out in the sun, and suddenly you're just blasted with just like a absolute blast of convection to the face, right? Super toasty air, right? You go in and you're like, oh my god, it's nigh unbearable in here. So it's like that on the larger scale, I imagine. It's also why being in a car in the summer is like super dangerous, right? It's like very much a case of, hey, if you got pets or kids, better like quintuple check to make sure you got everyone accounted for before you leave the car, right? Like, don't frickin' forget, because it's gonna royally suck. The car is terrible for that when it's super hot. Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah. Paint black leather. Oh yes. A combo that will definitely make you feel it for sure. Yeah, it's the kind of thing where it's like before you drive off, you just gotta let the AC run a little bit so that you can get some cool air running, because no way you're gonna put up with hot air as you're trying to drive to your next destination and all that. learned early on not to sit on hot leather seats and shorts. Yeah, I learned that too. That peeling sound is very unpleasant, right? Not to mention, you know, your skin is going to be feeling it as well. I don't know. That does make me wonder, though, right? I feel like there's, like, certain anime I watch, right? Certain anime I watch where, like, the character who wears a skirt, right? They'll, like, sit down on the seat, and for some reason, the back of the skirt just, like, gets draped over the bench, or just, like, spread out across the floor or something. It just makes me think, wait, why are they, like, sitting with their bare butt on the seat or the floor or something like that? I don't know. It seems weird and kind of unsafe, you know? It's like, I don't know. Depending on what you're sitting on, you could get, like, you know, a rug burn, or splinters, or just, like, sticky skin. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know if I wanna put up with that, right? For some reason, I'm not seeing the ad notifications on top like I usually do, so I just gotta rely on Seribot to inform me when the ad periods are. What's happening? Just like that girl in Poltergeist. What's happening? Oh wait, there it is. Oh, and I guess it's, like, really delayed? Okay. How rude of Twitch cutting you off mid-sentence. Yeah. Good old Twitch, right? Gotta get the ad revenue in there. Gotta get our pennies from all the streamers that we're hosting, right? Last thing I heard was certain animes like watch and the character wears a skirt. Okay, yeah, we can rewind back to that, but yeah. I don't know, I feel like there's a small number of anime where there's, like, a character who wears a skirt, right? And you see him sit down, and for some reason they either, like, drape the skirt, like, over the seat, or they kind of, like, spread it across the floor, right? It's like, oh wait, so their bare butt is just, like, touching the seat / floor? Seems odd, right? Like, why would they do that, apart from just, like, the exterior appearance of that, which I don't know. That doesn't seem like a very pleasant thing, right? It's like, depending on what you're sitting on, yeah, you could get rug burns, splinters, or, you know, just, like, peeling skin, right? doesn't sound very fun at all. Yeah, splinter hazard, right? Exactly. Honestly, the one thing I haven't quite understood, right? I tried it myself too, right? It's like, oh yeah, you know, didn't get much out of it. I was like, yeah, all right, so, you know, my bare butt is on the floor, now what? I did notice that Twitch made, like, a very slight change recently, right? They changed, like, the font for some of the stuff, right? Like, so when someone's, like, stickies a message on top, or, you know, a few of the headers like that, you might notice, like, the font is, like, slightly different. I wonder what the reason for that is. Like, is there a point to it? Because the old font was working just fine. Overall, in the big grand scheme of things, it's not a deal breaker, but it does make you wonder, right? Are they building up to something? Or are they just doing it because they want to, right? Feels like we see that happen a lot these days, right? A bunch of apps or websites just will change, you know, the UI or elements of it for seemingly no reason at all, right? It's like the old stuff worked fine. We didn't really need to update it, right? Especially if it switches things around, you know? Kind of screws with your muscle memory, and it's like, ah. OMG, now that you mention it, the font for following and browse at the top is different. Looks like Arial. Yeah, doesn't it, right? It looks, It's like a lot it's a lot skinnier, right? And taller. At least I think it kind of feels like that, right? Also, your screen name looks to be an Arial. I wonder, is that really it? Is that what they did? They just, like, changed the font to Arial? Like, I guess whatever font they were using previously, their license ran out or something, so they're like, oh my god, we gotta change fonts quick. I'm just spitballing there, right? That was, like, pure conjecture. But still, it's a weird thing to do, right? Especially when, like, nothing else has changed. Gone are the days when everything was Times New Roman. I mean, at the very least, you know, the fonts they use currently are more dyslexia-friendly, right? Like, I remember, I think it was like fonts with serifs are a lot harder for people with dyslexia to read or something like that. So that's why we see people kind of trying to move away from that, which, you know what, hey, they're trying to make their stuff more accessible to everyone, more power to them, right? Certainly won't ding them for that. Which I know is deeply ironic because my schedule does use a serif font, but okay. I remember the old websites, right? You just, like, go visit a random website and it'd be a page with, like, the background that was maybe some image tiled multiple times, and then the whole paragraphs of text kind of just, like, slapped on top of it, right? Tells you what you need to know, or, you know, it's like information or stuff like that. Yeah. Those were the days. Good old Comic Sans. Ha. I remember when Comic Sans used to be like the butt of jokes, right? It'd be like, oh yeah, this is documented in Comic Sans. Everybody like, OMG, screw you for using Comic Sans. I feel like there's been a pushback to that too. Because it turns out Comic Sans is also one of those fonts that is actually readable by folks with dyslexia, so, you know. Maybe it serves a use, you know. Or at least I've stopped kind of giving people a hard time for it. It's like, it's another font, right? We've got like a zillion of those. Hell, I used to use Comic Sans, right? Back when instant messengers were all the rage, that was my font of choice. I don't know. I guess I kind of liked it because it was non-serious. Mouse pointer would be a cat or a wand, etc. Oh, right, yeah, custom pointers. And it would probably have, like, either sparkles or flames, or, like, it would do that trail thing, right? You would whip the mouse around the screen and you see, like, after images. Yeah. You know, you gotta show off your website building skills, and what better way to do that than to alter the cursor one way or another, right? You know, you gotta put in music too, right? Your favorite band, whether it be like Linkin Park or Blink-182 or Foo Fighters or Evanescence or folks like that. Yeah, some obnoxious music playing because they added an HTML code. That and the counter, right? You gotta put the counter at the bottom so you know how many people visited your site, right? You know, if that thing hits triple digits, then, you know, you hit it big. Oh yeah. Break out the Sunny D. Jeez. I I smacked the wall so many times they're all passing me. Alright, we'll try that again. Thankfully, this rewind is, like, really generous. Here we go. New timeline successful. Oh god, they're passing me again. Man, what's happening? I mean, I get it. It's DLC 3, so they probably did up them a little bit, right? Even on the easiest difficulty. The whole MySpace thing, yeah. MySpace. On the one hand, you know, you do get like a whole bunch of obnoxious sites by people who really don't know much about aesthetics. On the other hand, they gave you the ability to customize your page, which is something that I kind of miss in modern sites these days, right? Like, sure, you can pick your profile picture, you can pick your banner, but good luck picking anything else, right?
Lap, so hold the lead through to the end now.
I saw someone do like a past and present comparison for YouTube pages, and boy, I forgot that they let you customize a lot more things about your YouTube channel, right? You could choose your background, you could choose some other aspects of it, but now it's like, well, you can, again, you can choose your banner, you can choose your profile pic, you can choose maybe, you know, what goes in your text and your links, and obviously your videos, and how to set that up. But, yeah. Kind of a bummer, right? The way they're just like homogenizing the site. It's like, I want like a little bit more degree of freedom of expression, you know? Give us that. Back when they had star ratings for vids, I remember the star ratings. I also understand the change to thumbs up, thumbs down, right? Because most people would probably vote like, you know, one or 5 anyway, right? Like most people aren't going to do 2, 3, 4. It's just how the internet is. People have a strong feeling one way or another. Or at the very least, the people who are most motivated to rate something will be motivated to rate one end or another, right? Like the people who rate things as middle ground tend to be a more rare occurrence, right? Days of 144 and 240p. I was actually watching someone who is showing old videos, right? Because they were going through old memes, and they were like super surprised that some of the videos were in 4:3 format, right? Instead of the 16:9 that most of them tend to be these days, right? And they were looking at the quality options as well. It's like, oh wow, this one only goes up to 360, right? Back when 360p was considered like super high quality. Oh boy. Yeah, I remember downloading videos back in the day. Getting that postage stamp footage, that was absolutely highbrow cinema right there, man. Ah, yeah. I remember when I would go over to my friend's house and he'd be like, hey Azure, check out this video, right? He'd show me like the Evo Movement 37 or something, and we'd be watching like that Windows movie player take up like, I don't know, 25% of the screen. We'd like looking at it and going, oh my god, this guy just like full parried Chun-Li super, holy moly.
What's going on?
Yeah, fun times. Yeah. We got sites like Pirate Bay or LimeWire. We do miss the torrent sites, they were so handy for stuff. Yeah. Especially when you're a kid, right? You're a kid, maybe money's a bit more of a premium, so you know, you're seeking out other ways to be entertained. Granted, I didn't do just that, right? I also did like Flash games and forums, and when free-to-play stuff kind of took off, I did some of that too. Right. Good old days of Maple Story and RuneScape and Adventure Quest. Oh yeah. Was your go-to to get discographies for bands you like? You had to be careful though, right? Because not every entry was just super trustworthy, right? Some of them might be viruses, some of them might be troll songs or videos or something like that, right? Gotta watch yourself. Newgrounds, oh yeah! Newgrounds, that used to be one of my old stops, right? Just get on there and be like, oh my god, Tom Fulp put out another game. What is this, alien hominid? Oh, that sounds interesting. Maybe I'll try that out. Right. Watching Burned Faceman on there, haha. There was also the Madness series, right? And oh man, well I forget the guy who did it, but there was a series called Mortal Kombat vs. Street Fighter, which I thought had like the most incredible fight choreography, right? That and like you know, just the visual effects were top notch, and the sound effects were great too, and the musical choices were great and everything. The only thing that was lacking was the plot, but you know, you don't watch Flash animations for the plot that much, right? Did you ever go to a site called Congregate? That was like one of my other haunts, right? Because they would they used to roll out Flash games pretty frequently. And the fact that they had the in-house achievement system also gave you a bit of a motivation to like keep playing them. I remember I would like get out a few achievements, like, because you know, they would give you points and stuff. And for a period of time, they also used to be tied to like your GameStop account system. So if you got like certain achievements, you could actually get like GameStop reward points, and that was pretty rad. And there was also like a meta system with Congregate 2 that you get like pets and stuff for some of their other games, and I remember being into that as well. To the point where if I missed an achievement of the day, I would actually contact support and be like, hey, so I missed this achievement of the day. Could you retroactively award that to me? And they never turned me down, right? They'd be like, yeah, okay, we see you got the achievement, so we'll give that to you. Right? And we'll also retroactively award you the companion for that day. Eventually I fell off, and then, you know, Flash discontinued being supported. I wonder what they're doing now. I wonder if they're still around. I know Newgrounds is still kicking. Shockingly enough, they're still kicking it. A relic of the old times. But hey, we'll give them credit. They're resilient, right? Not heard of that one before? Okay. Hey, there were tons of Flash game sites out there, right? Have you heard of one called Miniclip? I think that was another one that used to roll out a whole bunch of Flash games. There's one I really liked on there that was called Heli Attack. It was basically like a twin stick style shooter, right? But instead of like, you know, being top down or something like that, it was more of a 2D. Right. The first two were like pretty straightforward, endless games, but the third one then actually turned into a more substantial game with like separate stages and everything. Even if it was like more still something of an endless game of sorts, but yeah, I lost a lot of time to that one. Sounds fun? Yeah, it was. I remember when they put up like a retail disc, right? It's like, oh yeah, we put together a compilation disc of our best Flash games. I remember thinking, like, oh man, that sounds amazing, right? It's like, you don't have to go to the website anymore. You just pop the CD into your drive, you could just have access to a zillion games. Never picked it up. Kind of regret not doing so. I wonder if it's still possible to do so. I imagine they'd probably go for a lot of money now, if anything. Like a relic of the old internet. trend. Have you heard of armor games? They used to... I think they have a Flash site as well. They had a bunch of Flash games hosted on their site, and I think they've actually transitioned into being like a publisher? So that's pretty cool, right? Like, you'll occasionally see games like come up on Steam, right? They might be like new games or just like remasters of some old Flash games, but yeah, you'll see they're like published by Armor Games, so hey, they're still around, right? That's pretty cool. There was also, I think they're called Flip House Studio. You might know them as like the guys who do the Papa's series, right? The whole series of Papa's restaurants, where you're like running a restaurant and they have like a whole house style unique to them. My sister actually got into one of those. I think it was like when she was recovering from an operation and she just needed something to, you know, get her mind off of that. So she kind of really got into like one of the Papa's restaurant games. Pretty amusing. But hey, you do what you gotta do, right? Well, I have a question then. What other sites did you get into, right? Or was it like mainly Newgrounds? There's definitely a lot on Newgrounds to get into. Although definitely, you know, you gotta be careful, right? Because it certainly catered to a lot of crowds. So if you're not careful, you might end up seeing something that is not up your alley, right? There's a lot of good stuff on there, though. That's for sure. There's one site that everyone knew about during high school, rotten.com. Oh my god. You're unlocking a core memory there too, right? The days of the computer lab where your friend would be like, oh my god, I saw something cool on this site, you should go check it out. Alright, you finish your work for the day and you're like, alright, well, we can pass the last few minutes doing whatever. That's what you did.
Good start. Hold the lead.
It was like that, and I guess dig, right? Dig and oh right, cracked, right? And the onion. Like the onion was pretty popular amongst my group at least.
They'll really need to get back onto pace
Any sort of site that was like an aggregator.
3 laps left.
That or just like some that told you the news in a funny way or something that you might be interested in. Does anyone remember Joystick? It used to be like a video game site that covered video game news, and I used to check into them a lot, right? They used to have like a whole spread of sites that were like, you know, console fanboy. So you would have like, right? They had like Xbox fanboy and PlayStation fanboy and like Nintendo fanboy, things like that. But eventually they kind of merged them all into one overall Joystick banner. But then eventually Joystick got shut down, and I forgot what they
2 laps left.
who they got picked up by. But, man, their site was fun. think I remember initially getting on because they used to do a lot of giveaways, and I was like, oh man, a chance to get stuff. Don't mind if I do. Never won anything from them, but it's a thought that counts and all that, right? Fatpie.com made the rounds too, home as salad fingers. You know, I never watched salad fingers myself. What was salad fingers about? I had to hazard a guess. It was probably like a very surreal kind of series. Very creepy.
Hold the lead.
Yeah, Flash lent itself to a lot of series like that, right? It would just like hit you with a bout of weirdness, or sometimes like actually be scary. You know, it's scary for kid me. Probably still scary for adult me, really, but you know. Salad Fingers is a British adult animated web series created by David Firth in 2004. It revolves around the eponymous Salad Fingers, a thin, green, mentally troubled man who inhabits a desolate world. Ooh. Yeah, that would definitely lend itself to a creepy feel. I wonder if they were inspired by Bert. Just maybe took some cues from Tim Burton for their series. Granted, Tim Burton is like more just kind of like delightfully weird, whereas some series can just play like creepy, right? He loves rusty spoons. Oh man. You remember like visiting an official website, right? Like, you know, a Lego.com or a company website or something, and they'd have like a Flash games section where you could play various Flash games. I remember those days, right? When sites like Cartoon Network and them would have a separate section for games that you could play. lose a little time to that. Oh yeah. Makes me wonder if, like, maybe that's how few devs got their start, right? They started working on Flash games while they were still in high school, and that let them hone their craft a little bit. I'm pretty sure that's, like, the case for, like, Epic Battle Fantasy, right? Remember that got their start on Newgrounds, right? And eventually, you know, you start seeing, like, the game compilations on Steam and stuff. Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon used to have games on my satellite box. Oh, kind of like a Sega TV, huh? Very interesting. Yeah, those were the days of like DVD games as well, right? You would like pick up a movie or something, and they have like maybe a game or two on. Or, you know, like the best they could do with disc technology, right? So it would mostly be like an adventure game or something, but you know, someone put some effort into it.
Don't be surprised if they're gunning for you now.
Well, yeah, they can try if they can reach me first. Ha ha ha. Best game, audio, or DVD has to be Atmosphere. Ah. What is that one about? I don't think I've heard that one before. I like the pun, though. I like the pun. I'd assume that's like more of a thriller slash horror type of game, based on its name. Probably involving like you being in an airship or an airplane, or maybe high up in the mountains, or like a sky island or something like that. Very goth. You'd put your VHS or DVD in while you play, and every so often the gatekeeper would appear and give you orders. Oh. I see Twitch has come back and said, hey, ads. Also, the notification does pop up, but it's like very out of sync. I honestly can't tell if it's like Seribot is accurate, or if the little notifier on top is more accurate. Yeah, I have a shaky exhaust pipe. Well, at least that kind of makes sense, right? Been kind of banging around this track here, so...
Great first lap, you're leading the race.
You know, a few things here or there that will be loose. Oh, hello there. Yeah, these guys are keeping up. Makes sense. Ah! That's what I get for trying to bump them. Don't let me get ahead of you. I need to at least score gold in this event. There we go. First we gotta hang on for like another about 4 minutes or so. As time went on, the gatekeeper would become more and more skeletal like the Grim Reaper. Oh man, must have been quite the sight. Yeah, VHS games. I think I've seen like maybe one of those being advertised. Never was able to play one myself, but I'm sure that must have been a fun time to be had, right? Just trying to play your board game normally, and then suddenly you get interrupted, like, oh, now you must, do thing. Especially there's like a sense of progression, like Atmosphere has. That's the only thing about that kind of game. It's like once you figure out like when the scenes happen, I imagine must be interesting to try to play around it, right? Suddenly, like, it becomes its own meta where you're trying to hold off and wait for your turn, or try to take it as quickly as possible so you don't get hit by certain events or otherwise. I imagine maybe a DVD version of that would help kind of mitigate that if they managed to add some RNG into that mix. Right. It's like, I guess it's either that or like play Mario Party. Right? Play Mario Party. Or the equivalent if you don't have a Nintendo system.
Last lap, so hold the lead through to the end now.
Novel idea for a game, spices up the usual board games. Oh yeah. That's for sure. Like the first few times you play, it's probably that element of anticipation where it's like, oh man, what are they gonna do? Right? Like, what's going to happen? The possibilities are endless. Imagine most games with an external component, right? Interactive or non-interactive would probably get that. right? It's more than just a board game. It's got other stuff to it too.
Frantically rewind.
I wonder if there's like a modern version of this, right? Actually, I imagine the modern version of it would probably just be, alright, so take out your smartphone, scan this QR code, and then you'll be taken to our YouTube channel where you can pick a video and have that run while you play the board game, right? It would probably be something like that now. No need for a separate videotape or DVD or anything like that. Now the extra cost is a lot less. Were there any other board games you played that had like an external component? I think the last one I played was something like that was Drop Mix, right? It was actually a card game that was created by Harmonix, right? And the whole deal with that one is that you would take these cards and you would drop it onto a device, right? And the device would be able to read the cards and it would be able to put out some music based on it, right? So you'd say like, put down a card that has like say the vocals of Bring Me to Life, right? And it would start looping like a part of Bring Me to Life, and then you put down like say instrumentals of Mambo Number 5, and then it would put down the instrumentals of Mambo Number 5, right? And you'd also download like a separate Drop Mix app to kind of get it all working together, right? And it would do its thing to kind of make it all come together and sound like an interesting piece of music. It was pretty novel. Unfortunately, it didn't get like too many extra sets beyond like its base set, which is a shame because it seems like a fun thing to have at a party, you know? They went on to make Fuser then, and then I think they had like some post-launch support for that, but unfortunately they had to delist that as well, which is a giga bummer. Thankfully I was able to grab what I wanted before it completely disappeared, but eh. Atmosphere was the only one. For the most part, we'd be playing Cluedo or Monopoly, etc. Ah, Monopoly. Ooh. Clue, though, yeah, Cluedo. That's a fun one. I got the digital version of that. I'm hoping once I do my debut, I can perhaps rope some folks into playing that. That's always a good time. Monopoly is really just there for the hashtag content, right? You're not really playing Monopoly to have fun. At least not fun with the board game, right? You're there to have fun with everyone else. So sad, because I had Fuser on my wish list. Yeah, right? It's a bummer. It's always a bummer like that. Right? When you don't realize that the game's about to get delisted and then you try to come back to it and it's like, oh, I guess if I want it, I'm gonna have to seek out alternative means. I've actually had that with a few entries on my wish list on Steam, right? It'll just be like a blank spot, and it'll just say something like "game unavailable." I'm like, oh man, I wish I knew what that was, right? I wish they'd have like something about it, you know? Not just like a blank spot. It's like, oh yeah, this game does not exist anymore. You know, at least we're pretending it doesn't exist anymore. Always a shame. Cause I wondered what I put there, right? Because it was obviously something interesting enough that made me want to keep tabs on it, but on the other hand, I guess if I haven't come back to it in so long, maybe not so much, but still, it's a shame, right? I'll like at least the title or something so I can try to track it down some other way, you know? Either that or you get to be announced forever. Oh yeah. Speaking of which, I was reading there was like a game recently that got canceled that was still in development. It was like called Hightail, right? And it was like
Good start. Hold the lead.
sort of like an open world voxel-esque sandbox-esque game, right? Picked up by Riot. apparently they were in development for like a really, really long time. They had like screenshots and videos and every now and then, but like recently they came out and said, yeah, we're pulling the plug. We can't work on this anymore, right? They're like, yeah, scope creep and, you know, realizing maybe we wouldn't be able to create a game that would meet your expectations. And it's like, it's a bummer. Right, maybe it was expected, maybe it was inevitable, but it's a shame all the same, right? You know, a lot of people put their sweat and blood into that, right? They worked tirelessly on that, and unfortunately it won't see the light of day. And that's just like the projects we hear of, right? There's probably a ton of them that just don't even leave the company building that we never hear of, that are just canned for one reason or another. It's like that with some YouTube vids. You go to your faves and you get unavailable videos are hidden. Oh, right, yeah. When you're building your playlist, right, and you go back to it to, you know, like curate it or clean it up or something, like, oh yeah, like 5 videos are unavailable. It's like, oh, what were they, right? What were they? And what happened to them?
You're through the halfway
You know,
point.
did the company get to them? Did the user just decide to quit YouTube and delete everything? Sort of related. I had something like that, where I was, you know, I'm putting up old videos on my VODs channel, right? And I was looking at my Forza Horizon 5 playlist because I needed to sort that out, and I kept on seeing this message. I was like, one unavailable video is hidden. I'm like, wait, what? when did I put up an unavailable video? I was trying to look around to see, like, okay, what was it, right? So I can at least just clean it out. And it turns out it was a video that I deleted, right? It was a while ago because I accidentally messed some things up with it, so I decided to just delete it and start over, but I guess it didn't delete it completely. It still kept a slot for it in the playlist for some reason, so I just removed that deleted video entry from the playlist. I'm like, alright, everything's good now. Weird that it would do that, but I guess I can sort of get why, right? It's like, on one hand, sure, I guess it's nice to know that something is gone now, but on the other hand, it's like, what was it? At least give me the title or something so I can try to do an internet search, right? I don't want to just, like, completely forget about it, right? Right? It's like that one song, you know, don't you forget about me, right? Lost to time? Yeah. Just lost to the ether. Actually, I heard there's a term for it, right? It's called lost media. It's like that media that is just has not been recorded somewhere, right? It's not stored somewhere. So when all copies of it disappear, it's just like, well, it's gone now, right?
Taking the corner with ease.
Seen a few vids on lost media? I imagine. Probably happens a lot in the content creator space, right? It's like you know, a bunch of either small-time or big-time creators, and maybe there are like a handful of things that aren't archived for one reason or another, and you know, eventually, you know, like perhaps through some unfortunate circumstance, the channel just gets nuked for one reason or another. It's like, so it's like a bunch of stuff that you won't see again, right? Or, you know, probably like countless webcomics, I imagine, right? Webcomics and maybe web manga that were only on a particular site or a particular page, right? Eventually, either the user deletes it or the hosting site just gets shuttered and the comics were never backed up, so it's like, yeah, the creator delists a vid and it takes someone uploading it again to see it, right? It's like, you're just hoping, right? You're just hoping that, like, someone somewhere has the video just stowed away on a hard drive or a flash drive or something like that, right? They're like, please let there be at least something. Some sort of sign that this person existed. That was like part of my motivation for starting the VODs channel, right? It's like even before Twitch started really cracking down on that, I was like, all right, I want at least like some other website where I can store them. Well, I mostly started the VODs channel because the advice was, well, you know, we want to make your presence known on multiple sites, right? Don't put your eggs in one basket and all of that. But it turns out it was fortuitous in multiple ways, right? Especially when Twitch started cracking down on like having your extra video and all that.
This is Indianapolis.
I was like, oh, thank goodness I'd already had the pipeline of turning Twitch VODs into YouTube videos. So I saw some other people like panicking when Twitch was like, okay, so you only be able to store up 100 hours of video footage, right? They're like, oh god, I got like thousands and thousands of hours. I gotta like just make a mad dash to export everything to YouTube. And you know, I don't have just like the VODs on YouTube. I also have a local copy on my hard drive, so you know, if YouTube ends up going belly up one way or another, I'll at least have it there. Or you know, if my hard drive ends up going belly up one way or another, I'll have it. I'll have a YouTube video I can at least reference. You know. I was watching your VOD channel last night while you were relaxing in bed. Ooh, nice. Well, that's what it's there for, right? For anyone who might stumble upon it in the future, maybe some people who want to go down memory lane and watch some good old times. I'm glad I was able to provide you with some measure of entertainment that way. You know what the funny thing is about my videos? My drop duchy videos are still getting hits. Granted, it's like double-digit hits now, but man, was it about that, right? Like, I haven't really revisited Drop Duchy since I played the demo all those months ago. Did it really take off that much? It was really fun from what I played of it, but I'll take another look at it. I know it came out like some time ago. Nice to revisit Split Second and Redout. Oh yeah. And those were like part of the you know, pre-VODs channel too, right? Those were like ones I uploaded later. Because I was like, yeah, you know what? If I'm gonna do a whole archive of my VODs, right? Might as well archive all of it. So yeah, I'm almost through uploading all the Forza Motorsport 7. And then after that, it's like just like a whole bunch of individual videos that I need to upload, but you know, once that's done, that'll be all my VODs. And oh my god, what is with that car? What is wrong with your back? Yeah, that seems like really off. Should probably get that checked in the shop. Also good to see your animated Auto 2 when you had the Halloween Neko ears, yeah. Back when I was using V-Roid. V-Roid. That model carried me through a lot. And I gotta admit, there was some stuff I liked about it too, right? Because it had a bunch of... The V-Roid app had a bunch of preset outfits that you could put on, so it was fun just like throwing something on and exporting the model and using that for like some seasonal fun. But yeah. Yep, back when I was like a cleric, and then I was like a knight, and I had like the kimono thing, the party outfit, the maid outfit, yeah. That being said, Live 2D has its of fun too, right? Like during the Streamerversary, I was able to slap a party hat and a little noisemaker onto myself. It's like, yeah, fun times. I originally haven't done item pitting all that much. I should probably do that more. Went back quite a bit because the first vid I watched was your PNG model. Yeah, I remember my PNG tuber. used that for the first few months. It was nice, right? Because that was like the model I created to get a pose, and then I was just able to kind of continue using that model by exporting it, and then using VC Face for like a good long while there. Feels like a lifetime ago. Sure it does, doesn't it, right? Especially in terms of the internet. Like, man, how the times have changed, right? Back when audio quality was like a little worse, videos were probably a little grainier. I sounded probably much different than I do now. I think that's like part of the fun of the VTuber journey, though, right? It's like seeing that character growth arc, seeing the fella just like slowly become more comfortable, finding the pace at which they're comfortable with, and stuff that they're into, right? See that, see the bits of themselves just get cemented and solidified, hashed out, all that good stuff. Maybe a bit shy, but still you, yeah. A bit more uncertain, that's for sure, right? I guess collabs would be the next step of my character arc. Soon TM, soon TM. I've had like a handful of folks already express interest in collabing with me. I'm waiting for my full model, right? I'm waiting for my full-size live 2D model, and then I'll start reaching out, right? One step at a time. But we are making progress. I feel like I can. I just need to like get things done, right? The ball has finally come into my court, right? It's up to me to kind of put the pieces together and get everything ready, and yeah, it's exciting times, and perfect timing too, right? Because I got the summer. Sure, I got like some big things I need to do, but for the most part, I'll probably have like a good chunk of free time to kind of devote to getting everything ready, you know? Hopefully, I'll be able to get it all coming together, you know? It's like Patrick Warburton said, you know? Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Hopefully, it will continue to come together. Been along for the ride for just over 3 years now. Yeah, you've been here for almost like every step of the way, haven't you? We've been through it a lot. We've seen a lot of things, played a lot of games, experienced a lot of moments. And quite the trip. Yeah, it has to be perfect before any debut. Yeah, right? You know, it's your one chance to make a splash, right? And you want to try to make the best possible splash you can. Those first impressions and all of that, they're important, you know? It's also important to build up that experience, get your feet wet, make sure this is something you really want to commit to.
And we're heading into the final
I
round
think,
now.
yeah, it's kind of what I want to do, so that's why I've been taking further steps, you know? Yeah, the evolution of the wandering VTuber. I'm probably gonna have like a more elaborate title when I properly debut. There's gonna be a lot more words in it. It'll be fun, I assure you. One step would be cosplaying as my avatar. That'll make for a pretty fun reward, right? Although, I don't know. or, I wonder if I could maybe find someone else to cosplay as me. I know a bunch of VTubers are also cosplayers, so maybe someone else would be up for it. Imagine my outfit might not be too hard to make a cosplay out of, right? Like, it's probably not too hard to find yourself some fashionable boots, plaid skirt, blazer, button-up shirt, newsy hat, and a length of ribbon, and you're like 90% of the way there, really. Gotta get the hat badges right. Oh yeah, that's 2. That's not too hard either, right? You can find something close to it online, I imagine. Or you could always make your own, right? Did you ever do that, right? You ever have like an art project that was like making your own pins? I felt like I did that once or twice, where they would give us like a couple sets of clay, and it's like, all right, now you can mold a shape, right? Mold a shape, and then we'll stick a pin on the back, and then you can have it as a pin. It was like either that, or we could make an ornament out of it. That was like during the holiday months. That a lot as a little one, glue stick, cardboard, safety pin, and some scissors. Ooh, cardboard.
Alright, listen, you've just gone past the halfway stage of the race.
Imagine you probably had some good fun out of that. How we made our own key rings too. Ooh. Yeah, it's nice, right? Being able to put your own personal touch on a thing. Mr. Mojo Jojo keyring that you got with Sonic the Comic back in the day. It was like some sort of separate promotion, like your shop was just like, with any purchase we'll give you a free Mojo Jojo keyring. I imagine that happens a lot though, right? It's like the store will just get like a box of promotions, and
hold the lead through to the end.
They're really there to just move units, right? Oh, free with every Sonic comic taped to the front page. Wonder if that just means like Powerpuff Girls comic was also like same publisher as Sonic then? A little cross promotion. I guess it works out. Certainly is an interesting thing, though. I don't think I've seen any other comic book that gave you a physical bonus like that, right? Certainly not a key ring. At least I can't think of any. happens more often than I think. Gave away a lot of free stuff. One year, a big Valentine's card with Sonic on it. Oh. They were known for that. Well, that's still pretty fun, right? It's nice to have, like, a little extra coming with your thing. Like, there was one magazine I used to subscribe to. I think it was called Top Deck. Its whole gimmick was that it would give you like a free booster pack. Well, not necessarily free because you had to subscribe to it, but it would give you a pack of cards with each issue of its magazine. Granted, it wasn't always for like the same game, so it could be like a Pokemon pack, or it could be a Magic the Gathering pack. It could be Legend of the Five Rings or something like that. But you'd be getting a card game pack. They obviously talk a lot about card games. Primarily Pokemon and Magic, but there's also like a few things on video games, and they had some extra stuff too, right? Like puzzles and variants you could play with your card games and stuff. It was fun. I think the magazine only lasted like 14 issues. I guess because the increased price that they had to do with the card pack really didn't help them sustain their business, so it's a shame. Because it was a pretty neat idea, right?
How you feeling about this one?
Look, I feel like it's...
Okay, sorry.
As special as the toys you get in cereal boxes. Oh yeah. I remember as a kid being super drawn to the toys in cereal boxes. It was either that or like, okay, you buy 3 boxes and then you can put all the proofs of purchase into an envelope and then send the envelope off with like a special form, and then we'll mail you a color change bowl and spoon or something like that, right?
Listen, just stay out of their way. Let things cool down.
Yeah, cut the box tops and send them off. Right.
And the needle there.
Those more fun times. Yeah. The best cereal promotion still has to be just like a straight up free computer game, right? It's like a computer game, just a whole ass computer game, right? You just take the CD, put it in your computer. It's like, oh wow, it's a whole ass game, right? You get your checks quests and games like that, right? You say The Sims, maybe, and Roller Coaster Tycoon, I think. But yeah, whole ass games in a cereal box. Wild. You certainly won't see something like that these days, right? Like, you're not gonna open your box of Cheerios and, like, just fish out Baldur's Gate 3 or anything like that. As awesome as that would be. Yeah, Cocoa Pops did that. Had a spoon that doubled as a straw to drink the chocolate milk at the bottom. Oh, I remember those spoons. Never got one for myself, but that sounds like it would be very, very fun. Frosties had packs of Spooky Dokies in their boxes? What are Spooky Dokies? Sounds like a wheeled toy of some sort. Like something you'd put on your bicycle spokes and they make like funny sounds or something. It's like how some kids would put playing cars on their bicycle to make it sound like a motorcycle. Plastic things that tinged when you'd put this on the spokes of your bike. Ah, yeah. That makes sense. Makes the name make a lot of sense. Other times they put reflectors in with Tony the Tiger on. I vaguely recall there being a promotion, right? This was like one of those mail-in promotions where you bought enough cereal boxes and you could get back like an actual, like, sort of sound device, right? It was like a horn, but instead it was like a button you pressed on the thing, and you would put that on your bike, and it would make it sound like a siren, you know? So it made you sound like your police bike. Enamored with that for a bit. Until I wasn't, right? And eventually I'd put that somewhere and forget about it. And then I'd fish it out like a long time later. I'm like, oh yeah, what's this all about, right? Press the button and you just hear like this really drawn out siren sound because like the batteries are really low. Okay. I was worried. I thought I was like, oh no, wait, did the game crash? But no, it's just getting hung up on something. Okay. Alright, it might happen soon. Hang in there, Grid! I only got like 4.5 events to go. You're almost done. Just stick with me, just a little bit longer. Little me would love that. I've noticed it's gotten like a bit more hitchy at points. Man, I keep on saying I need to perhaps do a run through of my PC to see if I can perhaps clear out some bottlenecks or something. I really ought to do that. So, yeah, this is a 2019 game, so it's not the most intensive, but I'm also playing Claire Obscure right now. And if my system is already buckling while I'm playing this, then it's like probably stands even less of a chance if it were to try to run Claire Obscure this week, right? Did you see that whole thing on Twitter a while back when Tony the Tiger was getting really thirsty tweets from furries? Oh yeah. That was like right after that one time he streamed, right? He was like on Twitch for a brief moment. They had someone just like playing as Tony the Tiger. He had like a whole ass Milk Cool PC in the background and everything. And of course it would draw them in, you know? Probably drew him in way back in the day too, you know? Because yeah, the guy's like a pretty buff looking tiger. And I can see people being drawn in by him, right? And of course, you know, internet being what it is now, right? Internet just like limiter releasing a bunch of people so they can just go, oh my god, I am so into you, and sometimes further than that. Alright. Oh, that was just round 1 of 4. Oh man. Yeah. I remember people wondering, he's like, oh, is Tony the Tiger gonna become like a regular streamer? I think it was like around the time of the VTuber boom too, so there was a pretty high likelihood that you know, more companies would be coming out with like brand accounts like that, right? Yeah, if I remember correctly, that was like the only time Tony the Tiger actually streamed. Perhaps a slight bummer. I feel like that probably could have gone far if they let it become a regular thing. I was gonna say, this loading is taking a bit.
Is closed, with stars and the
oh man, it's got rain too. Oh boy. It's a 1-2 punch. Then again, this is like a stadium thing, so hopefully it'll hold. skipping a little bit. Skipping a little bit.
Come on, I think you've hit them one too many times.
Okay. Well, not 60 FPS is fine as long as it's stable. Oh, like how Wendy's is super sassy on social media. They like to do things related to current releases a lot, right? At least that's usually like the tweets I see become really popular, right? Some ones that are usually like referencing some game or movie that recently came out. They just have like a really good artist on their PR team. Hey, at least good enough that you know, they can do things like that. And it can be pretty fun. I do remember being a little surprised when I on Twitter and like respond to one of Xbox's or Xbox Game Pass tweets, and then they actually respond to me. I'm like, oh, hey there, and thanks for the reply. Alright, I think after this event I'm gonna restart the game, see if that hopefully fixes things. Take care of it before it gets worse. Oh man. Yeah, the jitters are getting more frequent. We're only in the second event of
Great
4.
first lap, you're leading the race.
Hopefully it'll hold. Oh yeah, nice when you get a reply or like from someone you like or is famous, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's always the shocker. It's like, oh, hey, you took your time out to respond to me. Even if it is like a little thing, right? Just a little thing that's just a tiny part of the day. It means a lot, you know? It's like a nice version of M. Bison, you know? It's like, for them it was just a Tuesday, but for me it was like a defining moment. Maybe not the greatest day of my life, right? Because there's a lot more days to be had in the future. But it certainly is a big moment. Man. Nice version of M. Bison, so you mean Rose? Yeah. Yeah, like M. Bison has the whole Tuesday thing, but like if Rose has that connection, then she could do like the nice version of it. It's like, don't worry about it. For me, it's only Tuesday. Rose is cool because she has some tarot cards. Yeah, her whole deal is like she's a fortune teller, right? Well, that's like part of her background. Her gameplay deal is like she's got like psycho power, like
Hold the lead.
Bison does. Yeah, mad anime hair. Yes, back when hair went all crazy directions and shapes, and makes you wonder how much gel they put into it to make it shaped like that. Metric ton of hairspray? Yeah. Or I had to go through like 2 or 3 cans or something. It was always fun, like, seeing people try to cosplay as those characters, right? try to render the hairstyles in 3D, right? It's like the kind of hairstyle that probably looks okay in 2D, but you're trying to wonder, okay, so how do I make this volumetric? And how do I make it make sense? And still look okay, not like weird. Probably a lot of shonen hairstyles end up being like that. They tend to have like a lot of spikes and a lot of like just crazy looking shapes sometimes. Like anyone who cosplays as like Goku or even more so one of his Super Saiyan variants probably has some crazy wigs going on, you know? Oh yeah, and Jesse's hair, yeah. His whole hair just like sticks out horizontally even. It's just wild. Bruh. Hello, Zia Mirka. How are you? Is my driving getting worse? I don't know. I think it's like partially because of the game too. I noticed it's like become a lot more hitchy. There's a one point where it actually froze for about like the half a second or something. I was actually planning on restarting this whole thing, at least the game, right? Restart the game and maybe hopefully things will smooth out a little bit.
Hello, Okutama. It's race day, and Kristen and I are on the scene. Okay, hold on. Sorry.
All right.
Looks like things are
Well,
about
let's
to
see
get
how
underway.
this goes. I'm in front, so maybe things will go better. Whee! Yeah. I wonder if that's like coming through, right? You can see where it maybe starts kind of getting a little jumpy, right? Kind of messes with you, right? 'Cause you think you have like more time to react, but fortunately the game still moves on even in like the very brief frozen space. So you might end up overcompensating one way or another, and that might end up getting weird sometimes. Ah. It's also the rainy weather. Oh, track limit exceeded. Ah. Jessica's trash on handling. Certainly felt that. Alright, if you kind of go a little wide on the corner, a little too narrow, then you're going to end up braking a lot more than you usually do. And sometimes you gotta be careful when braking too, because there are some cases where if you hold the brake too long, right, you end up like locking up your steering for too long. Yeah, it's all about feathering the brake at that point. I remember that much at least, right? You need some good handling and just you tap the brake. You don't just like hold it. That's advice they have for real life too, right? If you're like driving on the ice and you start spinning out, where it's like don't just slam on the brakes. At least you actually just have the pump on them, right? That way you have like at least a little bit of steering control.
First driver is now on lap.
Good start. Hold the lead.
I was gonna say, it seems like the hitchiness is eased up, but yeah, it feels like I'm still getting it here and there. Man. I hope my computer's not like downloading something in the background, because that would be unfortunate. It's like, come on, system, we're at the grand finale of things here. At least let me get through this. Right, don't give me what happened that other week with the repeated internet outages. Right, we had to cut things a little short there. Time to set this game to high priority in the task manager. Maybe I should do that. I think I pre-downloaded another game because I wanted to at least check it out. Like Persona 5, the Phantom X, I think is set to release like either very soon or maybe even now. I wonder if like maybe that opened up. Maybe this is connected to that somehow. Although I can't imagine why it would, because this game's like mostly offline, right? So.
Okay, this is the final lap now.
Last lap.
No,
so
I guess
hold
no, the
lead
game
through
downloading
to the
would
end
affect
now.
that because you know, it would affect my stream, but I guess that hasn't affected anything yet. I'll check anyway. Oh, speaking of like downloads and updates, I was reading that Windows 10 is apparently going to get like more security updates after its initial end of security updates date, but looks like there's a catch to it. Like either you have to pay like $30 or something to get continued security coverage, or pay like a very tiny amount of Microsoft reward points. And even if you don't, Windows Defender will still get updates, so you'll at least have that, but yeah. Like, geez. I have Windows 11 on my work computer, and I know this is like a personal anecdote. I haven't had much issue with it. Sure, it's like a very, very different interface from what Windows 10 has, but I've been kind of managing. Oh, granted, there are some things I don't like about it, but certainly not the end of the world. I know a lot of other people have had some real problems with Windows 11. Certainly feel for them. That's part of the reason why I haven't like done the move over to Win 11 myself. It's the unfortunate thing with Windows operating systems, it seems. It's like a cycle of good OS, bad OS, good OS, bad OS, right? You have that one OS that like everyone is cool with, it at least does something good, and then you have like the one OS that just has all the problems. Everyone's just completely slagging on it. They're like, okay, that's it. I'm moving over to Linux/Mac. Just not as user intuitive. I feel that, right? It's definitely, like I said, it's a pretty stark departure from the old Windows, right? Like all the icons are gathered in the middle for some reason, like a Mac OS system. Also, the start system seems to have changed, and not for a way that's better. It's like you don't have like all your programs in one list anymore. You gotta search for them, and you can't do like a tile quick list like you could in Windows 10. So there's that. Alright, one more. We got one more. 3.5 miles, just three laps, thankfully. Hang in there, grid. One more. Just one more, and then we're gonna try to figure something out here. Get some water real quick. A little refreshing. I also have like a snack cake by me, right? Just in case I need something to eat. I did have dinner, but you know, sometimes you just need like a little extra boost of energy.
And we're heading into the final round now, where it'll all be decided. Kristen,
all right.
Tell me what's gonna. And I've just been told the race.
Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna try to get in and get out. Right? I'm gonna be driving this like I need to go to the bathroom real bad, and I'm gonna get this race done as quickly as possible so I can rush over there. Hopefully that hasn't happened to you too often, right? You're like in a position where you really need to go, but you can't because for some reason or another, like you're in the middle of a trip or in the middle of a meeting, or just not really in the position to be able to do so. So it's like trying to hurry things up so you can rush over there. It's never a pleasant time. Oh god. That braking was a bit of a pause. Ah, what is this even? Yeah. Man, even rewinds aren't looking too great. Yeah, you got like moments where everything seems fine and then it's not fine. I can get like an average lap time. I can just figure out how much longer I gotta go. Lag spikes! Oh man. It's scuff in a different form. A few weeks ago I had to deal with controller scuff, and now I'm dealing with performance scuff.
Great first lap, you're leading the race.
Maybe that should be one of my long-term goals. Get a new system. This one is probably fairly old by modern tech terms, right? Probably find at least a decent pre-built, I imagine, that would be an upgrade to this box. Probably be the best route to do, especially since like certain parts are probably still an arm and a leg. going to full custom with my colors. I'll probably do that, right? If I get a pre-built and they let me have some degree of customization with it. Sure. That'd be fun. Ah. Yeah, I handled that. Oh, God. Yeah, you saw that, right? That rewind was just all sorts of
Close, but
hitchy.
turn control.
There's a lot of things I want to get in the future, right? In addition to just like more VTuber stuff and either like parts or a new rig. I also want to try going to a con again, right? Because just this past weekend was Offkai, right? So the VTuber convention, and it seemed like everyone who went really loved it, right? They were singing high praises for the people and the events and the panels. I think the like really big criticism most people had was that it stank, really stank, right? So like
Final lap. Keep that
the
lead
usual
intact.
con problem of people who do not care about personal hygiene and is making it everyone else's problem as well, multiplied by a really uncomfortably high factor, which is a shame. Other than that, right, seeing just everyone else just talking about how much fun they had there kind of makes me want to at least go once, you know. See if I can try maybe going there next year. Will be at least a story to tell, right? OMG, don't get me started. I'm sure we've all had our encounters with the con stink. I know I did. In fact, I remember one con I went to, someone actually just put out, you know, bars of deodorant, right? It was just for free, you know, like little mini containers of deodorant that you could just take one. That person right there, they were doing the Lord's work, right? When they're trying to mitigate the stink problem from everyone else. Close to the finish. Can't stop, won't stop unless the game stops. Hopefully it won't. You know what would really suck if this game like crashed or something like just as I reached the finish line. And then Grid's like, what, you completed the event, did you? We don't remember that. I don't know, it hasn't like full crashed. At least I don't remember it full crashing. If it did, it's been a while, so hopefully it won't start now. Alright, we got to the results screen. We got the windy event. We got the drive up. Should take a leaf out of Card Shop Simulator with those spray things. Yeah, the automatic air freshener sprayers. We'll need to have like a stink detector, right? I don't know how they would do that. I imagine smell particles are probably like a specific chemical arrangement. We'll probably build a detector along that lines. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna restart the game real quick, see if that hopefully fixes things up. I'll be right back, and I'll make sure to fill the airspace with some menu music in the meantime, right? See you soon. Alright, I'm back. I think I have located a few areas, right? Closed a few things, and yeah, it turns out, yeah, Steam was downloading something in the background, so I put that on pause for now, so hopefully these last 4 events here will go a bit more smoothly, right? Sniffer doggos! Just like the stink detecting dogs, right? They just go up to a person and start barking if they really, really stink. It's like, hey, this dog says you need to get a shower. Really bad if you're in the lift, oh god, in the enclosed space, I do not want to think about that. Because, especially during cons, you're obviously going to get as many people into that little space as possible, right? So everyone needs to get somewhere. And you're just going to get really, really up close and personal with some folks. Even those brief moments might be the longest moments of your life, depending on how bad the other fellows smell.
One of my personal favorites, the Kowloon Dragons, are in the house. Kristen, a team to watch? And I've just been told the race
They watch.
is seconds
Yep.
away from lights out.
So much to watch that you gotta get out there because they're about to race. That's why we have fursuit spray. Sounds very nice. It's like air freshener, but for fursuits. I'm just thinking like a Febreze style of container, right? Kind of like the nozzle that you twist to open it up, and then you press the handle at the bottom to spray a little freshener on it. Yeah, freshens up your suit, usually a fruity scent like blueberry, etc. Yeah. Fruity scents really are pleasant on the nose, so I certainly get why they use them for fresheners a lot. Right. It's like either that or mint, or like some sort of breezy scent or floral scent. Something that reminds you of the outdoors, really. The pleasant part of the outdoors, right? Not the unpleasant part. I was one with that racing line. Even a cozy fireplace flavor. Nice. Yeah, something pleasant about that too, right? Just a nice, slightly burnt aroma. As long as it's not like too overwhelming, it hits right. I get that.
Great first lap. You're leading the race.
Well, hopefully there is at least a marked improvement in performance, at least to seeing it here. It doesn't feel like it's as hitchy as it was before. This is what happens when you make your computer try to divide its attention between a lot of programs. I mean, I'm kind of already doing so, right? I got VTube Studio running, I got vBridger running, I got the Twitch integrated throwing system running. And there's probably going to be a lot more stuff, or at least a few more programs I'll probably stack on top of that. It's like, oh no. Hopefully it'll be able to put up with all that, at least for a bit. All smooth on this end. It's good to hear. At least it seems to have worked out. Well, I'm at least glad that most of the games I played tend to not be very resource intensive. There are going to be exceptions, of course, like Claire Obscure and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, but for the most part, my games tend to be at least a bit easy on the GPU. At least I like to think so. Yeah, Forza is a resource hog. It is. Yeah, I remember those times when I'd stream it. Yeah, especially Horizon 5. There were like points where like the textures would get all funny and stuff. It only ever happened while I was streaming though. I've been playing Forza on my own time, and I really haven't
Just smooth
run
it
into
out,
any
one turn at a
problems.
time.
Granted, it could be that they also kind of went and like ironed out a lot of the issues they had, but I wonder if it's just like a combination of that and, you know, not having to worry about running like a bunch of other programs on the side. You know, since we're like in the general umbrella of Xbox, I heard there was like a rumor that they might be bringing original Xbox and 360 games to PC. Honestly, it seems like a great step to take, really, right? I imagine they probably do that via emulation, but you know, any way to keep those games preserved is a plus in my book, you know? I guess it's like one step closer to just like making their whole everything is an Xbox promotion tagline kind of come to life, right? It's like, yeah, you don't need a console anymore. You want to play Xbox games, just you know, get the app, right? Get yourself a powerful enough system. And if you don't have that, well, they got cloud gaming. You could just go through that. At times, it's like plus 3 million megabytes per second. Yeah, I do feel like that. Just like random spikes of lag for seemingly no reason. Yeah, give us Sega GT 2002. Love that game on OG Xbox. Part of me hopes that if this is something that they roll out, that they'll go back to like trying to make some older Xbox games like forward compatible, right? Because they were doing that for a while with Xbox One, but then they said they were ending that program. But that still leaves a whole bunch of Xbox and Xbox 360 games that need to make it over. So here's hoping, right? Here's hoping.
You're through the halfway point.
Like you mentioned, what, Sega GT. I feel like if they also could bring over like Crazy Taxi 3 and Jet Set Radio Future and like, I don't know, heck, Burnout 3, maybe Burnout 2 as well. That would probably go a long way, you know. Unless they're planning HD version of those games, I can't see why they wouldn't do it, right? For me, though, Xbox was never the same after they ditched the whole ripping CDs to the hard drive. I love that so much. Yeah, I remember games having a custom soundtrack option. That was really cool. Even if I actually didn't utilize it to its fullest, it was cool. You know? Something novel about just being able to drive in Burnout 3 to like Homestar Runner music, you know? Just hearing like the system is down as you're trying to take down your opponents, like that was a fun time, you know. The OG Forza Motorsport, I wonder if I should try hunting that down. I didn't play like any Motorsport before 7, really. Or 6 Apex. I think 6 Apex was like the first actual Forza Motorsport I played. Didn't play any Forza Motorsport before that. Of course, the only way to do that now is to find a disc on the secondary market. Also bring back the avatars the 360 had. If only. Unfortunately, it seems like they've dropped that entirely. Like, they even had, like, an Avatars 2.0 feature, right? But they
2 laps left.
discontinued that. Just, like, entirely. Seemed like it would be a pretty good next step, but alas. I guess it was a pretty easy thing for them to do because there was, like, no game that actually supported it, right? Unlike the original 360 Avatars, which actually had some games that supported it, so they can't really pull the plug on the whole thing. Play modern Need for Speed with the old school Need for Speed soundtracks playing. I think I said that somewhere, right? That was like my thing. One of the things I like to do is like get a racing game soundtrack from another game entirely and just use that while I'm playing a different racing game, right? So like say the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2010 soundtrack, just play that while I'm like say playing Forza Motorsport. Fun times, right? Horizon Chase Turbo soundtrack, yeah! There's a soundtrack. You're gonna get to hear a lot of that. You're gonna get to hear a lot of that this weekend because I'm gonna be playing that for the charity stream. Man, that was probably my first big shocker in a good long while, at least for my VTuber career. Just getting that email from them that was like, "Hey, we want to invite you to stream for us, right? Stream for the charity." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll totally do it." So I'm trying to get things set up for that. I'm most of the way there. Just need to test a few things to make sure that everything works. But for the most part, I'll probably be ready. Ooh, I know, right? You'll be there with bells on.
Hold the lead. Last lap.
Cheer for me. It'll be a fun time, right? Oh yeah, you probably saw it on like Twitter and Blue Sky, right? The charity's called Gamers Outreach, right? They're bringing games to kids in hospitals, and it seems like a worthy cause, right? You know, the kids, they need something to help them get their mind off their current situation, and let them be a kid. And why not bring video games, right? Let them play some games. Let them have a little fun with that. Of course, gotta cheer my fave femboy. Aw, thanks. I'm glad you got my back. The event actually started today, right? They got a thing, right? The thing I'm part of is like the VTuber SummerSlam. Actually started today. You can see like a lot of VTubers doing charity streams. It's running from today to Sunday, but I want to just like start off easy, you know? Start off doing one stream, and then maybe if they extend an invitation to a future event, maybe I can do a few more, you know? Start off small, get into the swing of things before I really go whole hog, you know? Always. They hold on for like the final few feet of it, and they did. Let's go. The Jesco demonstration is done, and I came out on top. There we go. All the track day events are done. Oh my god. We're almost there. All we got is the Season 3 finale track day hypercar. It's so close. We just gotta go kick Raven West's ass one more time. Let's start with part 1. Should I stick with the Koenigsegg or should I pick a different car? I don't know. I like the way the Jesco looks. Right? It's got the sort of clean, futuristic sort of vibe to it. Alright, 3.44 miles, 4 laps. Look at that, you can see the Raven West fellas in there. They're just hanging around. They're like, I'm gonna scout this fella one more time. I guess kind of random thing. Has anyone keeping up with the Sonic Racing Cross Worlds news? I saw they announced a few more franchises that were gonna cross over in their season pass. It was SpongeBob, TMNT, and Avatar, right? They really only showed stuff for SpongeBob and teased the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Avatar, but certainly a weird thing to cross over, right? Can't imagine the Venn diagram of SpongeBob / TMNT / Avatar fans and Sonic fans is that great. SMH SpongeBob has no place in a racing game. At the very least, a racing game, featuring Sonic. It's certainly a weird choice for a crossover. But considering Nickelodeon is plastered all over those names, part of me wonders if it was a package deal or something like that, right? They're if you want, say, whatever they actually wanted, then you gotta also take all of this. Certainly is a shame, though, right? It's Minecraft, okay, it's a video game, at least, at least put up with that, but, I would have gone with I don't know, Crash Bandicoot, right? Maybe that, or Pac-Man, maybe, or Mega Man, video game characters at least. I mean, I'll put up with crossovers because it's Cross Worlds, and the Sega Racing franchise was kind of a crossover for most of its titles anyway, so surely the Sonic roster is big enough to support a full game. Yeah, you'd think that as well. It was certainly weird when Team Sonic Racing only had 15 characters. Some notable omissions no Cream. But it seems at least Cross Worlds is making up for that, because they brought in the guys from Sonic Riders. They brought in characters from Sonic Frontiers. I hear Cream also returned. And at the very least, the pre-order bonus does include characters from the Sonic Prime animated series, so they're not lacking in that department, that's for sure. And for what it's worth, we are getting free character updates, so the actual video game characters that aren't Minecraft are going to be added over time as free updates. Because they said Hatsune Miku, Ichiban from Like a Dragon, and Joker from Persona 5 were gonna be included, and I guess 10 characters are gonna be added that way, so there's that. I wouldn't be surprised if we see in the future, Ulala from Space Channel, someone from Jet Set Radio, probably BD Joe from Crazy Taxi, Amigo from Samba de Amigo, right? I from Monkey Ball. Maybe give us something out of left field like Alex Kidd or Football Manager, or the guy from Total War. That would be fun. Right, lots of routes they could go there. It does make me wish like the proper paid season pass content were like, you know, more focused on video games, not just, hey, we're gonna cross over with what people like at the moment. Give us Roxanne Wolf. After all, she does have her own racetrack attraction in Security Breach. Oh my god. You know what? Given what they've revealed so far, I would not be surprised if, like, Five Nights at Freddy's does make an appearance. Like, if it doesn't, then hey. But if it does, I'll be like, you know what? Sure, whatever. Right, we've already kind of opened the floodgates in terms of what could appear in the season pass. But yeah, the fact that they take up like a whole half of it, right? It's like 3 slots for other stuff. It's like, man. If Springtrap can appear in Dead by Daylight, then surely they can appear in other games. Yeah.
And there's contact.
It would be completely out of left field at least, right? And you know, old Sonic games weren't any stranger to weird crossovers too, right? Like Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing had Wreck-It Ralph and Banjo-Kazooie on the Xbox version. And then All-Stars Racing Transformed had Danica Patrick, right? I think she's a NASCAR driver, right? She's, you know, famous race car driver, Danica Patrick, for some reason. I think they had, like, Yogg's Cast as DLC as well. But I guess even then, it wasn't like to the degree that Crossroads has, you know? It wasn't like they took up like 3 out of 6 DLC slots. At the very least, right? The Crossroads gameplay at least looks pretty neat, so I'll probably try picking that up when I can. I might even get it day one, right? How much of the one game I might get day one. Depending on how much it's worth. It's like $60 I could probably put up with that, but if you try to pull like a $70 or $80 thing, I'm like, I don't know about that, Chief. Just have Tyrus Flare from Golden Axe appear riding a dragon like the cover. They already got, what, Gilius Thunderhead? If they do put in Tyrus, I imagine they'd have to update her outfit. There's like no way they you know, keep her with her battle bikini from the old Golden Axe games, right? I wonder if that's why they picked the Thunderhead, right? Because he at least had like a full top and bottom outfit, right? Like Axe Battler just had the briefs, and yeah, Tyrus had the bikini. Blaze Fielding could rock a souped-up cop car. Yeah, you know what? Streets of Rage hasn't been represented. 4 actually came out 5 years ago, but still. They're coming out with a new Streets of Rage game as well, so it'd make for good cross-promotion. Oh, and you know what? Musashi, right? They could put out Musashi. They have a Shinobi game coming out soon. That would probably be a good candidate for one of the free update characters, I imagine.
Very good for them. Can they?
Can they? Yes. Yes, they can. Although, tangentially related to Streets of Rage, one game that really caught my eye recently, Absolum. Like, ever since they put out that trailer a few months back, I was like, oh, this looks really cool. And then they put out the demo, and then I played it. I was like, oh yeah, these are the guys who made Streets of Rage 4. They know what they're doing. They got a good thing going with that demo. I'll probably try to pick that up day one. Or if not day one, like shortly after, because I could see that being a lot of fun. There we go. And then there were two more events, starting with Track Day Hypercar Series Race, 1 round part 2. Earthworm Jim turning up on that rocket thingy. Oh man, Earthworm Jim in general. That would be quite the pool. Which makes me think he probably has no chance on the season pass, but it's a fun thought. Very memorable character, I imagine. I haven't played an Earthworm Jim game. Maybe I should go see if that's like on GOG or something. If it will show up anywhere, it'll probably show up on GOG. Those guys are like pretty good at bringing forth old games.
We're here at the Sydney Motorsport Park, situated in Eastern Creek, Australia, and I've just been told the race is seconds away from lights out.
The animated series was a good watch. I very vaguely remember that being on TV. That, like the Mask animated series.
I think you may have upset them.
Looks like they put them there.
Along with Ace Ventura. I didn't even remember an Ace Ventura animated series, but that doesn't surprise me they would make one of that. Like, Jim Carrey was kind of popping off, and I guess his style of movie would lend itself pretty well to just making a kid's show, right? It's like the sort of high energy, rapid fire kind of vibes you would need from that, right? Far cry from that creepy guy he played in The Cable Guy. Oh man.
First driver is now on a lap 2.
His big
Great
claim to
first
fame
lap,
these days
you're
is
leading the
playing
race.
Robotnik in the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, right? I think that kind of like helped jumpstart his career.
Now, just look at how they're using the whole track to stay.
Whatever happened to Mike Myers? You rarely hear of him now. That's a good point. Felt like he was popular for a moment. Although the only prominent role I can think of from him is like Austin Powers. And that was a really long time ago. And you know, speaking of like silly movies that could use a resurgence, since it does feel like we're about of a parody renaissance here, Austin Powers. Granted, I imagine there's probably some aspects they might have to change for modern times, but
Close lap 3.
3 laps to go.
especially with Bond kind of attempting a resurgence of his own, maybe having a silly version of the Secret Agent film might work out, right? Cat in the Hat. Wow. I didn't even realize there was a film of that. Huh.
Remember, all thanks to the Great World Series.
had Johnny English for the spoof spy film. I vaguely heard of that name. When it comes to like spy parodies, I think of like I think it was called Spy Hard. Is that what it was called? When it comes to like silly spy films. Hey, you just made me remember Spy Kids.
Platform now.
2 laps to go.
I vaguely recall Spy Kids. At least I remember ads for it on TV and just thinking, oh man, kids with secret agents and gadgets. That's like, that was actually my dream. I don't know, just I think the idea of being able to use like cool compact tools to get things done that you wouldn't normally be able to do, or at least be able to do it on the down low, just seemed really rad, you know? Like, who wouldn't like to have a portable grappling hook or like a portable lockpick? Like a little portable laser to kind of cut yourself into places that you wouldn't normally be able to get into. One film that does deserve a proper remake is a live-action Mario Brothers film. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. It's the one that basically has the Mario Brothers get isekai'd into a very grungy version of the Mario Kingdom. Alright, they turned Bowser into like a dude. Boy, oh boy. This makes me wonder if Nintendo would be up for that. I know they have a pretty tight control over their brand, so I guess it's up in the air if they feel like, you know, pandering to the crowd who is nostalgic for that movie would be worth
Final
it,
lap.
right?
Keep that lead intact.
Or are you gonna have to like settle for perhaps a B-grade spiritual remake of the live-action Mario film, right? It's like a fictional video game instead, right? Instead of Mario Brothers. It looks so much like the underworld from Demolition Man. It did. So it was like very dark, very grungy. It was like, you know, the crime-ridden cityscape that your parents always told you about, you know? I watched that with my friends. Actually, it's a few years ago now, but I remember being at least amused by it, right? When you at least look at it from like a historical standpoint. It's at least fun times, you know? Hey, you went to the cinema to see it. That's certainly a good way to do it, because you know everyone else who shows up to watch that movie is going to be very much into watching that movie, right? And you can all have yourself like a good laugh at everything there. Certainly worked for that for my friends, because we were all like super into watching it. Go, another one-off done. Been through a lot, but we managed to make it. And we've done it. We're at the final event. One more Raven West Showdown. We're gonna be driving some hypercars. This is it. One more event. Man. To think. 17 streams worth of grid racing is all leading to this. We've seen a lot. We've been through a lot. And it's all gonna end here. Oh, man. It's like when you're watching a series, right? You're like at the final episode, and you're like, oh man, this is it, huh? After this, it's gonna be wrapped up, you know? Gonna be done. Everything's gonna be resolved one way or another. Had more fun watching that than those awful Lord of the Rings films. Ah, weren't a fan of them. We're talking about like the Peter Jackson films. I'm thinking of the right guy, right? Peter Jackson was the one who directed the Lord of the Rings films that really popped off with the crowd back in the day.
We've got a great event for you here today, and I'd like to draw special attention to Raven West. Kristen,
Return of the King specifically.
Yeah, you really have to watch out for Raven West. If there's an overtaking opportunity,
I know a lot of people weren't keen on the Hobbit films, but that was because they were trying to do another Lord of the Rings trilogy by stretching it out to 3 films when the Hobbit was only like 1 book, and it ended up like padding out way too much, and kind of drew things out way too much, and people weren't really a fan of that. It's a bummer. I had a super numb backside after sitting all that time in the sun. Sat there like, end already. Oh, I did hear... like, especially the extended cuts of those films are very, very long. Right, it's like if you want to watch the original Lord of the Rings trilogy in one go, you're gonna have to block off a whole day for it. Probably get like a lot of popcorn. Oh, jeez. But yeah, sat there like, end already! Just get on with it! Can feel like that sometimes, right? There's like a contrast where there's a film I watched recently. It was like part 1 of Wicked, right? The film adaptation of the Wicked musical. I felt like it moved at a pretty good pace, you know? Like even when they did split it into 2 films and they added some extra scenes to kind of flesh things out, it never felt like it was kind of stretching out too long. I don't know. I enjoyed it, which is kind of a bummer because it seems like, at least with the group who watched it with me, I was the only one who actually enjoyed it. Everyone else was very, very, they very, very disliked it, which is a shame. I think their primary grievance with it was the fact that it was divided into 2 movies to begin with.
Perfect call that was.
I was reading like some supplementary material on it, and the director, that was a director decision, right? This wasn't a decision by like the executives or anything. And the director was like, no, we can't tell the whole story in 1 movie, so I'm splitting it into 2. And apparently the spot where they split it at was like a pretty natural split anyway, because like in a musical, that's where they would lead to an intermission, so I guess it all really comes down to like how part 2 does, right? Like part 1's like great for what it is, but if part 2 falls flat on its face, then you're definitely gonna have people going, so why was this 2 movies again? I don't know. I'm hoping they'll stick the landing, right? It was advertised as coming on Satellite Film Channel here. A lot of movies tend to do that now, right? It's like after their theatrical run, it won't even be like a month. It might even just be weeks before it becomes available on streaming services. It's honestly a pretty good strategy, all things considered, right? Considering, like, there are very few films that tend to get, like, you know, big box office profits past the first few weeks of showing. bring on that number for FNAF 2. Yeah. Personally hoping Spaceballs 2 will hit it out of the park. Because that's one's come to theaters and it's like, just let that be good. They got Mel Brooks on, so that's promising, right? Even if he's 98, it's promising.
Really sticking to that racing line. A masterful display.
Although you knew what didn't do well at the box office, at least from what I've read. Apparently Pixar's new movie, Elio, was like a complete bomb, at least, you know, for its first theatrical release. From what I've read, it's like the lowest opening numbers for any Pixar film ever. Honestly, a super bummer. I haven't read much about the movie itself, so I don't know like how it is or anything, but man. I remember when Pixar movie release was like the biggest deal, you know? You hear about like, you know, your Toy Stories and Monsters Incorporated and Incredibles and
Third lap now. Keep it
Up,
smooth and
right,
that'll
and
keep
things
you
like
fast.
that, right? Even Inside Out would get good numbers, but jeez. I heard that it bombed hard. Yeah, I heard that too. Right. It was like a showing that we haven't seen since the likes of The Good Dinosaur. Like other films at least turn out halfway decent or something. It was a real shame, right? Especially in like the really high-end AAA cinema scene these days, where most of them want to play it safe, right? Just churn out sequels to already existing series or revivals. You'd hope that maybe an original movie would pull good numbers, but although I really ought to read reviews of Elio, right? I need to see like what the critical opinion on it is. So I think there was like another movie that came out and didn't do well despite it actually being pretty decent. It was like a movie called Elemental, I think, right? Like it was kind of fell victim to kind of misleading advertising from what I read. Like the way advertising went, you'd think it was like one kind of movie, but it was actually another kind of movie, and unfortunately didn't do too well in the box office either. But it wasn't like terrible, it just did okay. I remember those awful straight-to-DVD sequels Disney did way back then. Oh yeah, I remember, right? Aladdin 2, Cinderella 2, Little Mermaid 2, back when they were doing updates to the classics, but... You know, that was also back when they were doing, like, hand-drawn animation. So even if there was, like, money, dear boy, felt like there was still some semblance of art to it, right? Yeah, that was back before like we had like the whole advertising blitz, right? Back when you would only know the existence of a thing by walking into a store and seeing a display for it, right? It's not like they would like blitz you with commercials and ads of like Aladdin 2 all the time. It would be more like, you know, you walk into the store, you see, oh wow, they have Aladdin 2 out. Hey mom, hey dad, do you think we could buy that? They need to stop with the live action versions. Every one of our buses is still advertising Stitch. You know what I've heard? I heard that one actually did gangbusters, right? It actually turned out a large crowd. Right, despite it seemed like you know, people online were not absolutely not having it with that movie. It just, I guess the general public thought differently, which is a bummer, because That said, I heard like the Snow White live action film actually did kind of poorly. Like poorly enough that they've kind of put every one of their other live action projects on ice because of it. Which is like good, right? Like hopefully it won't lead them to just doing revivals of their old animated series or something, but it's a start. Makes you wish you were in like the alternate reality where Disney was able to perfect their hand-drawn animation craft and just get like the best in the animation business
Okay,
that
you're
way,
halfway
right?
through the race.
What was wrong with the OG animated one? Really like that, as well as the series that followed. Oh yeah, they had an animated series, right? Where they were like tracking down all of the other experiments. Had a bit of a got 'em, catch 'em all, and a monster of the week element to it, which was kind of cool. Lent itself pretty well to an animated series, to be honest. Not surprising it bombed after the lead actress's attitude in interviews and stuff. Yeah. Imagine bad PR wouldn't help matters either. It's like if you want to see like original ideas or a new series or something fresh, you have to kind of hit the indie scene these days, right? Because like the big name AAA scene is kind of reined in like a whole lot just way back in, right? Because they really can't take risks, you know, because each project is just so freaking expensive that they kind of need it to be a mega hit in order to recoup the costs and everything. Unfortunately, means the consequences of failing are that much bigger too, right? Like anything that isn't a success right out the gate is just gonna get canned, and all your workers are gonna get canned too, and it's like, yeah. It feels like at some point something's gonna give, right? Well, until then,
3 laps left.
there's at least still bits and bobs of inspiration in the indie scene, right? We're getting some good stuff there. I think I was reading recently that WB Games has apparently gone through a restructuring, right? They're like refocusing on, I think it was like 3 big pillars for them. I forget, I think it was like one pillar was DC, another was Mortal Kombat, and I forget what the third one was, but that's like going to be their major focus. But it's like kind of emblematic of like what's happening with the AAA scene, right? Like again, just them having to play it safe because you know everything takes too many resources, so they can't do risky things like they used to. Like even back in the 360 days when EA was putting out stuff like Army of Two and Mirror's Edge, you don't see it that much these days. Have people been clamoring for Titanfall 3? Given just like how much Titanfall 2 just hit it out of the park. Man. You know, given Respawn's ability to just do something good, Titanfall 3 would have been the slam dunk. Some reason Titanfall 3 just has not manifested. Like, they had that update, like, it's actually been a few years now, but they had that
Got
update
two
not,
left.
like a little while back. And people were hopeful, right? It was like, oh boy, could this be a lead up to Titanfall 3 maybe? I guess it wasn't. I think there was a Titanfall project in the works, but they came out recently to say that they canned that, which is a bummer, right? I think we could have got more Titanfall, but nah, I guess it's gonna be more Apex Legends, which I guess is still chugging along. And that and the Respawn Jedi series, which is a great game in its own right, but it's not Titanfall.
Taking the corner with ease there, Kristen.
High time we had another Killer Instinct. You're not the only one. I see a lot of people wanting another Killer Instinct. Considering it's been 12 years since 2013, yeah. I'd say it's about high time.
You want the perfect example of worry?
Does make me wonder, like, how they would build on the mechanics that they introduced in 2013. I'm sure they could find meaningful ways to do it. Yeah, that was the game that people had no confidence in, right?
Listen up.
Like, on top
Follow
of
the
being
lead.
part of
Last
the
lap.
much maligned Xbox One launch. Just felt like a cynical nostalgia grab, but then it came out and people were like, oh wow, this is actually a pretty good game. Which allowed it to get 3 seasons worth of support. And enough of a fan base that even for its 10th anniversary, it got another update. Like, how many games do you see that happening to? Although, from what I've heard, like, a lot of the former folks who worked on the original Killer Instinct are now working on a game called Invincible Versus, which looks like it's pretty much Killer Instinct but tag team, right? Killer Instinct but with, like, the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 style of tag team mechanics. So that could be interesting. At the very least, those guys are getting to work. Hopefully the game turns out alright, too. It certainly has got some stiff competition in the form of Marvel Talcon, but you know, considering that the two are completely different styles and different flavors and probably has different audiences to capture, I think there's probably space enough for both of them, right? Certainly a pretty unexpected thing. I was not expecting a fighting game based off of the Invincible comic book series. I know the animated series is fairly popular for what it is.
Very good for them. Can they hold on?
This is it, huh? There we go. First place, baby. And my partner is dead last, but it's okay. It's fine. At least one of us got to the front, and that's what matters. GG! Thank you, thank you. Oh man, this really is it, isn't it? Final event is done, and we're ending on bronze level 31. Oh yeah, look at that. Bunch of extra cosmetics. all events in Grid Season 3, and wow, okay. Have win all events, finish all the events in Grid Season 3. I imagine one of them is for like getting all golds and stuff. Me being backed by the 2 Raven West drivers. That kind of feels poetic in a way, right? What better note to end it on? Just be beating out Raven West one more time. Yeah, there we go. World Series completed. Gold in all events! Yeah, baby! We got that musical riff one more time. Also iconic with your car being white and theirs all black, right? The hero car manages to prevail over the villain cars. Ah. So that really is it, huh? We done everything. Season 3's done, Season 2 done, Season 1 done, and the career itself also done. Gold in everything. I said it before, right? But this game has a really solid base. You know, the core mechanics are great. It definitely feels like a Grid through and through. Just wish there was more to it, right? There's more to just, you know, selecting events from a menu and going in. Or at the very least, add more modes, right? Just more than just like race and time attack. Like, Grid 2 had a whole variety of them, you know? Give us some of the stuff from that. Even if they all tend to be some variant of just drive faster than everyone else, it would mix it up to some degree. Have I got a replacement in mind? I at least have something that I'll play next week, right? We'll probably go back to the Crew Motorfest then, right? Because there are a few new playlists that have come out, so we can maybe spend an evening there, right? An evening in Hawaii. Feels appropriate, doesn't it? Since we're like in the middle of summer, so why not go to a place where it's summer year-round, right? Well, maybe not necessarily year-round. I'm sure they got winter there. I'm sure it gets cold to some degree. Yeah, grab your pina coladas, get your flower lays, and your grass skirt. Yup. Get all that. Because we're going back there. We're going back there for a bout of racing. But yeah, that's it. This is Grid 2019 in all of its entirety. I had a fun time. I'll probably just go and buy all the cars. I got like, what, 69 million credits? Nice. Probably buy the rest of the cars, and I think that's an achievement at least, so I'll grab that. And yeah, that's all they wrote. I guess at some point in the future I'll play Legends, because, you know, that's the next Grid game. I find the idea interesting, a story-based Grid game, so I will at least want to give that a go, but probably wait a bit, right? We'll do Motorfest, we'll play some other racing games, and then we'll check out Legends, right? Hope you'll join me for that ride. But for now, I think I'm gonna call things here. It's a little shorter than usual, but I do have things to prepare for tomorrow, so I want to maybe get started on that. Have a good night. Yeah, you have yourself a good night, a great tomorrow. Thanks for being here, and thanks to everyone who came by and hung around and chatted. And even if you just lurked, I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll be back on Friday, where I will continue Claire Obscure, Expedition 33. We're about to get into the Gestrel village here, right? Lune is at least super excited to see more Gestrels, so should at least be a bit of a breather after that beginning, right? Oh my god. And we got a full party too, so that should be cool. Hope you look forward to that. But let's look for someone to raid for now. And one more time, I'm gonna fire up the menu music video. And this will be the actual last time, right? Because not much reason to go back to Grid 2019 now, right? Could have been more, right? The way things were set up, it looks like they were hoping for maybe another season passes worth of content. Hoping for like a 4, 5, 6, but I guess it didn't pan out. Who knows? Maybe if it actually managed to pop off, maybe they could have done something with that. But well, that is a what could have been. It is not a what is. We're speaking about companies and playing it safe too, but like Codemasters, I guess, got a bit of a hit as well, right? It looks like they're gonna fully focus in on the dirt racing part of their development, which means Grid Legends might very well be the last of the Grid series, which is a shame. Like they had a good thing going with it, right? If they had more of a, they were given more of a chance, maybe they could have fleshed it out. Trying to find someone who's like doing a driving game. Try to raid into them, but so far I've only seen one person playing Grand Theft Auto 5. Just fall back into finding someone playing Forza Horizon. Doesn't seem like too many people there. Motorsport. There is no VTuber playing Forza Motorsport. Man, need Horizon 6 to come out already. Phil Spencer said that 2026 was going to be a big year. We just gotta hang tight, right? Gotta hang tight. That's when all the new entries in the big name series are going to come out. Here's hoping it holds. Here's hoping we learn more about Perfect Dark as well. We didn't see anything about Perfect Dark this year, right? we still have, for the most part, is that gameplay video they had last year. I think it was like the same deal with Outer Wilds too, right? They had the brief teaser in like 2020, 2021, and it wasn't until like last year that they really started going hard on the promotional material for it, so... Yeah, until we hear more about it, I'm always just gonna be worried that it's gonna be, the next one we're gonna hear about Perfect Dark is like, oh yeah, we canceled it. Like, no! That probably would have been awesome. Alright. I think I found someone. Or have I? Maybe I want to find someone else. Yeah, I think I want to find someone else, actually. Yeah, I saw Death Stranding 2 came out. I think it's like currently in early access, but it should be out actually tomorrow for everyone, so. I heard for the most part it's a step up gameplay wise, but plot wise it's eh. Guess that can be a bit of a shame, but I guess if you're the type of person who really vibed with Death Stranding's way of just the way you just kind of walked across the United States and delivered packages, then maybe Death Stranding 2 is a good thing. I still need to play Death Stranding 1. It's kind of funny, right? At least the people I followed weren't too keen on it, but over time they were like, okay, you know what? Maybe we were being too hard on it. So maybe I can give that a chance, right? Okay. I think I found someone. I think I have picked someone to raid. So let's see, they got raids open. Okay, looks like they do, so I think we're gonna raid into them. Raid message one more time is going to be it's gonna be Grid Raid, and the fellow we're raiding into is Femboy Foxy. They are playing God of War, Chains of Olympus. I believe this was a God of War title that came out on PSP, right? I think I got like an HD version of it, so... Yeah, it's the old school God of War, when Kratos was like, you know, raging demigod man and ripped and tore through everything. Was generally very, very angry, so... Should be a fun time, right? Way to relieve stress. Let's go over there and give Femboy Foxy our support, shall we? If you're joining on the raid, give them Grid Raid. And if not, have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you on Friday for more Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Take care. You'll always be wondering, right? The alternate universe in which the Grid series managed to stage its comeback, managed to become a household name once again. I imagine there's a lot of racing game series over time that probably evoke that thought, right? All right, see ya.